you know, undersized players or smaller players to really have more room to be successful. So certainly the Florida Panthers have the blueprint right now. Great job by Bill Zito and his staff. They're big, they're heavy, they're hard. They go to the net hard. They're the team to beat, and I think most teams are trying to. When teams win championships, and now they've won two in a row, they become the role model.
Ken, before I think any team in the West can think about beating the Florida Panthers, in particular the LA Kings, I have to figure out a way to get through the Edmonton Oilers. So I assume you have all the secrets now moving forward the next time that they meet. Yes, you basically took one away from them in Corey Perry, but besides Connor McDavid here, what are some of the things that could get them over the hump the next time they perhaps meet again?
Well, first off, we're going to have to, have a good year and make the playoffs. I'm always nervous about making the playoffs. That's not a given. So, number one, you got to make the playoffs. And then, like I said, as I look at our team, part of this is, Dumoulin's a big guy. Perry's a big guy, goes to the blue paint. Armia's a bigger guy. Cody Ceci, we've tried to sign some people that are big people. Need some growth from our younger people, the guys that I'd mentioned. And then if everything goes good, when you get to the trade deadline, then you got to maybe try to make a move to add to it. But, if you're going to be the last team standing, you got to be able to beat anybody, not just one team. But certainly Edmonton's gone to the finals 2 years in a row in the West, and they've shown that they're the best team in the West, and the West goes through Edmonton. But that's a long, long way away. We're talking 8-9 months away.
Ken, you gonna bother going back to the Okanagan now that you signed with LA and just hang out in Manhattan Beach? What's the Okanagan got on that?
Well, this Manhattan Beach, you know what? As a visiting manager, we come in, we land, and we bus downtown, and we stay downtown. The JW Marriott goes across the street and fly home the next day. There's a whole world out here that's they've never seen before. Manhattan Beach and Redondo and Hermosa Beach, and though it's 15 minutes, from our practice facility to where everybody lives. There's no real traffic, so it's unbelievable. I'm excited to be here, and looking forward to getting going in September.
Pull out the roller skates. You got roller skates.
And the surfboard.
Just doing curls on the beach.
And rollerblade down to the beach and then take the surfboard for a trip.
Most important, where's your new golf membership?
Well, the good news is I've had some people reach out to me, so I'm going to be America's guest when I go play.
That's the way to do it.
You owe me a round. we did a home, but I haven't got his home yet.
Yeah, he's been home and home, so I still owe you a home game.
Thank you, Ken. Really appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck moving forward here. And in no time, we'll be back in training camp. All the best, Ken.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck. Thanks a lot.
Kenny Holland, one of the good ones, the National Hockey League.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Riviera,
but it's a lifestyle out there.
LACC.
Let's be honest. If that job opportunity comes up with that same team in that same division, but it's in a different city, he's not there.
I think that's fair.
Everybody keeps telling me that they would have had the highest price for Mitch Marner.
LA
King?
would have.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. I mean, I should have probably asked him.
He was right there.
I know he was right there.
He was literally 1 second ago.
What do you think he's
ask
going to say?
Wow, we can't comment on another team's player.
But
we got an offer out there.
God, every time when I was, of course, in my prime, single, the schedule would come out. It'd be, when are we in LA?
Yeah.
When are we in LA? And how long have we got? Is it one night or 2 nights? And
ideally, you'd like to have 2 games with a day off in between.
Oh. It was like the NHL's Disneyland.
Well, what year was it that the Leafs had a really good team and they went to the California trip with a good group, and Matthews, Marner, Nylander, those guys were just awful. And they got skunked on the trip, and it's like, that makes sense.
I think that was early.
Yeah,
that was early.
Leafs' first year.
No, because I remember they lost to the Ducks in overtime, and the Ducks were horrendous, and we came back and we were firing.
There was
we were mad about that one.
There was this one story in the 90s when the Leafs were on an extended road trip in California, and they rented a car and went through a drive-through and got held up while they were waiting for their hamburgers.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. A few of them were at gunpoint.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wild West for nothing.
Well, my favorite
That
trip
old White Castle, I think, did them in.
My favorite is when the Phil Kessel sunburn Florida trips were always my favorite. Whenever like they'd have a day off and they'd show him on the bench
Oh, my
and he's
God.
just beat red. I'm like, oh, we got no
SPF
chance.
-5
We got
baby
no
oil.
chance tonight. He's
The
been
worst I've
fishing
ever
and
seen is
golfing.
Adam Graves, who just,
yeah.
you know, is Mr. like perfect. He just never screws up. But this one day, he came in and I'm like, "Were you bobbing for French fries?" His face was like,
It's actually funny we
Be
don't
red.
see it more.
Who was it that we had on that was like, you were hammering him for being sunburned? Oh, it was
Doug Armstrong.
Doug Armstrong.
"Oh yeah, Doug."
They were just at the NHL general managers meeting. He had the something about Mary thing he said.
Did you? So before we move on, go to game time. Anything else you wanted to say about Ehlers before we keep going?
No, just, I mean, to me, he's a great depth guy.
Yeah.
But does now a guy that is known as a second or third line type of guy turn into a top end guy? Does he go to 18, 20 minutes a night? Is he that guy?
That was a nasty goal we just
Was
showed.
he
him.
held back? Was he held back in Winnipeg because of the depth?
It's a good question. I think his role, I think it's a very different system there than it is anywhere else. And guys tend to either really fit in or really not fit in, right? Like, you think about Mikko Rantanen went there and he's like, bye-bye.
Ehlers,
But,
yeah.
well, he's a skater, and they skate there.
He is. Last season, Ehlers has 63 points in 69 games. A couple seasons with bigger numbers. It depends how you use him for sure. But at 8.5, you're not paying him like Marner's 12. You're not paying him to be Eichel's 10. You're not paying him to be that. You're just paying him to be very good. Go get us 70 points, skate, make plays.
So we would
He's
put,
immediately on the top line
we would
with Aho.
we would put Nick Ehlers right there with Brock Besser in Vancouver, right?
and I
7.5
take him ahead of
7.75 to 8.5 means that you aren't our superstar, you
Yeah.
aren't our premier 1 and 2, but you can fall in right behind those guys.
It is a question of, can you win the Stanley Cup without having the top guys? Could you just have enough of the guys down below? And Florida kind of makes the case. They've done it physically, albeit, which is different. And Reinhart is a top guy.
And Burkov is
You're right.
He's a top guy.
premier
Top
number
guy.
Okay.
one.
So this is the question.
Both ends of the ice,
Do you
the
have
best.
to have
Matthew
that
Tkachuk
to
pretty
win a
close,
cup?
too.
And I think it's been proven you do.
Yeah.
You do. And how do you get that? I think that's really hard. I think that's why they traded for Rantanen in the first place. It's hard to get those guys. And